Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, I know it's been quite a while since I uploaded my last video. However, I just have to let you know that my life has been quite hectic. Uni assignments are piling up. It's also technically my last semester, so there's a lot of coursework that we have to do. After April, we'll all be finished, and there'll be nothing else to do except one exam, I think. So it's been quite busy, and I have had a video in mind, and the video is in the works. However, because of how long everything is taking, the video is currently on pause. But when it's gonna be uploaded, I will let you guys know, because I've been filming it since January. Can you imagine? And it's crazy because I literally read on a daily basis, so technically I should have already finished that video, but whatever. What's good with all of you guys? What's new? I hope all of you are okay. I hope all of you are taking care of yourselves in this weather. I'm currently cozied up under my blanket. I've got mint tea, I've got sponge cakes. I literally just went to get them. I told one of my best friends that I'm really craving something like this. And today, I'm going to be doing something different. I'm going to be telling you about a book series that put me in a slump. If you see me looking down here, this is my iPad. I've got all my notes on here so I don't forget any crucial parts of this book. And I've got it all on lockdown. Now, I hope you guys have heard of this because apparently it's been quite big on booktok and on Instagram. However, I only discovered this a little while ago, so I was not on the hype train when you guys were on the hype train. This series is called thewolfking. Look at this, my hardback edition. This is book 1, and this is The Night Prince, which is book 2. These books have taken over my life. What I'm telling you, I read this in the space of these two books. This one took me a little longer to read. This is book 1, thewolfking. It took me like 4 days to read because I was reading LJ Shen's Twisted Porn in between. But oh my god, was it good. And then The Night Prince, 24 hours. 24 hours. And now I'm waiting till September for the 3rd book, which is called, I think, what is it called?
I know you fucking lying, bitch!
Oh, The Wolf Queen, book 3. And it's meant to come out on 8th of September. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that time starts flying because these books were amazing. So let me tell you a little bit about this series. So imagine this. It's your wedding eve, and your father and your betrothed throw in 2 wolf shifters that they have kidnapped into the ring to fight to the death for your entertainment. You physically can't watch this because you have a good soul. So when they get told to fight, you're looking at these 2 men. One is younger, one is older and physically stronger, and you're thinking, oh my god, he's gonna kill him. He's gonna kill him because he's already wounded. So as they start going for each other, you're like, stop! No! It's giving Katniss Everdeen. You're like, I volunteer as tribute. But instead, you're like, please stop this. Stop this. Don't make them fight to the death. Why are you doing this? Like, do this for me. Stop the fight. So her betrothed is like, I'll stop the fight for you. Consider it a wedding gift. I hate that man. I hate that man. If I on top of my I hate men list, he's on top of the list. Absolute beetroot. Hate him. So he's like, I will stop this fight for you. So he then throws these 2 kidnapped wolves into some cages. But now imagine the wolves that you saved end up kidnapping you, because one of the wolves is the alpha wolf of your rival kingdom. So he kidnaps you to take you to the Wolf King. Mic drop! I mean, if that doesn't tell you, I don't know what will tell you, because this book is spectacular. I loved it. Oh my gosh. Listen, when I read these first couple chapters, I was like, whoa, 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 what is going on? We went from fight. In between all of this, she actually pretended to be, I don't know what the correct terminology is, but she pretended to be someone from a brothel, I think, to go and offer services to the kidnapped wolves in the cages. So she got dressed up so no one could tell that she was the princess, after saving these two wolves, and she went to visit them because one was physically like hurt. I think his shoulder was dislocated, but they knew that she was the princess, and he was like, the alpha wolf that kidnaps her later. He was like, you should not be here, princess. You should not be here. You should not see this. And I'm thinking, oh, because she's been kept in like this innocent little bubble where she doesn't see anything violent, or they say, like, she's very innocent, very naive, it seems. And then she gets kidnapped into this kingdom where it's basically all wolves. They all hate her because her father is an asshole, and he's been killing wolves since God knows when. There's just wars, and they're thinking that they can use her as a pawn, basically, to exchange for something, which I don't know if this is a spoiler, so I might not say it. Basically, she's supposed to be part of an exchange, and that's why she gets taken to the Wolf King. However, of course, since this is a romantasy, so there's a romance, the alpha wolf that kidnaps her is called Callum. And Callum, the best way I can describe him to you, Callum is what I would describe a golden retriever male. So he's very like kind, caring, he's liked by everyone. He is like, there's points of it where he's scary, but he's not really scary. He doesn't evoke fear as, let's say, other wolves in the kingdom do, or like other people. He is physically strong though, and we'll get to that in a second. Callum is just like the good guy. He's like the guy that you would choose if you were like, oh, do I choose the bad guy to live the rest of my life with, or like this good guy? You'll most probably go for Callum because Callum is the better choice, right? Aurora is our female main character, and she's the princess. What can I say about her? She's had a really tough life. I think the way that Lauren wrote her trauma was really good throughout both books, because she's experienced quite a bit and it was very, very heavy, but throughout the entirety of the two books I could really feel all of her emotions. And I feel like I'm glad, because a lot of authors tend to overshadow, like they'll mention some trauma but then they don't really dive deeper. But I feel like throughout both books, like there's so much diving into and finding out what she went through. So that kind of like first bit of like naivety that she has, and then like she breaks through with this kind of like fiery spirit that we didn't really think she'd had. It was just amazing to see, and I think it was a dynamic that I really liked. So Aurora and Callum, on their journey back to the castle, they're kind of having like banter, but she's like, oh, you kidnapped me, like what's happening? And he's kind of trying to, you know, get on her good side, like show her that he's not all bad, that it's not going to be bad. But when they get back into the kingdom, the Wolf King is not there because he's sorting out business, because her father is causing a war, her father is causing some conflict. So they're waiting for the Wolf King, and she's in the kingdom, she's in the castle, and this castle is full of wolves. Now imagine it, you are a human, you are hated because you are the princess, and your father went and killed a bunch of wolves and is currently killing a bunch of wolves, and your king is out there fighting, and now you've got this random princess in your castle. How are you going to react? Are you going to be like, oh, with the power of friendship? Most probably not. So she is quite hated by a lot of them. Due to this, Callum takes on a protector role. He's like, I'm going to be your protector. Let's pretend that we're in a relationship.
Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn.
So in the kingdom, the whole idea is that and you have like a fated mate, someone that the moon goddess chooses for you, and like that person, when you find out that is your mate, it is your mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, the goddess chooses it. You don't choose to be in a relationship. It is chosen for you by fate. So he's like, let me pretend, like, let me give you this necklace and let's pretend that you're like my mate, like I've chosen you. So she's like, what? I'm not gonna wear this necklace, because she's been felt trapped her entire life. So she's kind of like, oh, if I wear this, like I'm gonna lose my identity, an identity that I haven't even discovered. Like I've just gotten free from my father and my betrothed, and now you want to put me in a new cage. So she's kind of like feeling a little bit betrayed, not knowing how to feel. But whilst they're sorting out their dynamics, and whilst we see them like grow familiar, there's a romantic feeling coming up to the surface. She's feeling things that she doesn't think is appropriate, because, you know, they've kept her innocent. So and the fact that she's still betrothed, she kind of feels almost guilty for feeling a sort of like attraction towards Callum. So she's kind of like, oh, like, why am I feeling like this way? Why am I feeling attracted to him? Why am I like dreaming of stuff? And then he has this feeling of, oh my god, like I can't touch her because she's betrothed to another. At the end of the day, she's gonna go back to where she came from. Like, she's a pawn in the game. I can't touch her, but I'm attracted to her. And she, well, within the entire book, she's got like her innocence, right? Because her innocence is supposed to be taken by her betrothed. So he's like, I can't do anything because she's got her innocence, like she's untouched. Like if I touch her, then I defile her, and that's like a whole other thing, because then they might not take it back in the whole trade thing. However, you might think that, okay, so this is about what, Callum and Aurora, what's the big hype? Let me introduce to you moody, gloomy, mysterious Blake. Listen, when I talk about a perfect villain, Blake is the perfect villain. He is the perfect two-faced person. He is funny, charismatic, mysterious. Honest to God, there was a lot of like discussion about book one, and I clocked onto this after I finished reading both because I did not want to get any spoilers. So I was seeing all the discourse, and people were like, oh, I hated him in book one. I hated him in book one. I loved him. The minute the banquet scene happened, so they were all like at a big dinner and he was at that table and we got the introduction of him, I was like, yep, that's my man. That's my man. Ah! But he's like the enemy. He's supposed to be the evil one. He's supposed to be the one we dislike because he is doing shady things. However, it kind of becomes a love triangle. So we've got Aurora, Callum, Blake. See, by the time I was finished with book one, I was already Team Blake. Team Blake! Blake for me, but people were like, oh no, Callum. So, he's like, what does Blake actually work? So, Blake is also an alpha, but he has got plans to do bigger things and use people as pawns in his own little game whilst playing everyone else's games. So he tends to be on everyone's good sides, and because of how he is liked by a lot of people in this kingdom, whereas Callum, not so much. So you might sense a little bit of a, what might this mean? So the very first book, The Wolfking, is centered around Callum and Aurora, so we get to see a lot of dynamics. There's English. There's forced Hello!
I'm done.
There is forced proximity. I'd say, would I say it's an enemies to lovers? I wouldn't class this as an enemies to lovers because there wasn't much enemies between Callum and Aurora. I wouldn't say that. There's 18 plus scenes, angst. I quite like that. However, do check your trigger warnings, because I would say maybe it's trauma heavy. So this entire book focuses on quote unquote the main couple, which I don't believe is the main couple, and the Night Prince is where we get more of Blake. So this book focuses more on Blake and Aurora. So the entire discourse is like, who is she gonna choose? Is she gonna choose Callum or Blake? Now personally, right, after reading both of these books, I would choose Blake. And now listen to me, maybe you've read this and now you're like, why would you choose Blake? Blake went out of his way to push Aurora out of her comfort zone. So he did everything to make her feel like she had power, like she could do things, like she wasn't being held back by anything, and like her past was not holding her back. So he kept pushing her, and even though his ways were quite unorthodox, I'd say, he kept pushing her and breaking boundaries. And because of those broken boundaries, she was able to achieve really crazy things and unlock a secret about herself that no one knew. He had suspected it, but no one else knew, and no one would have known if Blake didn't push her. Whereas Callum, because he's got like that calm and kind energy and he's caring to everyone, Callum keeps her in a bubble, like in a safe bubble. Like he doesn't really want her to be distressed or anything of that sort. So you've got someone who's pushing you towards your potential and someone that's keeping you where you are because they're like, oh, like you're hurt and you're traumatized, like I want to protect you. So from that point of view, I think I choose Blake, even though I think there's some things that he did that are quite questionable within the books. However, I would also let him pass because there's something that happens. Was it at the end of this book? Yeah, it was at the end of this book that kind of makes you think like, oh, what the hell? But then by the time you end this book, you kind of realize that actually Callum is not the one. He's not the one. As I said, you don't choose your soulmate. Fate chooses it for you. So why the discourse? Because I thought this point was simple. So it kind of made sense. I think throughout like halfway through this book, I kind of was like, like this is the whole Callum and Aurora situation was not making sense to me. And then by the end of this book, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be Blake. But in all reality, I think the perfect choice to make for Aurora is not to choose between these men, but rather to choose herself, because she's been abused, she's been through so much stuff. I mean, she went through being basically someone's little puppet into being someone else's puppet. Like she doesn't know who she is, she doesn't have her own identity. There's so much things that she hasn't discovered about herself, so I feel like she should choose herself and figure out who she is, rather than, you know, be stuck in a cycle of, oh my god, like these men, this is what's going on, like I'm in the middle of it. Like I feel like she should have the grace to just be whoever she wants to be. And actually, as much as I love Blake, I think she should just go solo. Hashtag Team Aurora. She should go solo and F these men away. I rated this entire series a 5 out of 5. I am waiting for book 3. And I can't believe this book, like this series has put me in such a slump. It actually makes me upset because I've currently got the Fox arc that Paisley sent to me, and I haven't been able to read it because all I keep thinking about are these wolves that I read about. I'm literally stuck in the universe. I'm stuck. I eat, I breathe, and I live Blake. This entire universe is perfect. I mean, I'm not being funny, but you have to have some sort of talent to be able to write books so well that someone is able to immerse themselves within that experience. And that is quite literally what I felt like when reading this book. I could literally immerse myself in it. I felt like a character within the book. Oh, the only thing I should mention is that a lot of books nowadays are dual point of view. So you get the MMCs and the FMC's point of view. However, these books are all in the point of view of Aurora, which, by the way, maybe this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I enjoyed these two books more than I enjoyed dual point of view books. I don't know what it is. I think it was about the fact that I didn't know what the MMC was thinking, and I got to immerse myself more in Aurora's emotions rather than like jumping between Aurora and then testosterone. I don't know, but that might be me. If that's something that you can't get behind, then maybe this book series is not for you. But I did really enjoy this. Now, because I'm in a sad little book slump and I've got no idea what to do with myself because I cannot move on from these wolves, I'm going to recommend you guys a couple of books just in case you're about to read this after watching this video, I don't want you guys to put yourself in a book slump, so I'm going to give you a couple of book recommendations that you can jump into right after this one. So hopefully you guys can pick up something good. Now I'm going to be reading from my iPad because I haven't read these books. I got recommended them, so I'm going to recommend them to you too. Hopefully I'll jump into them as well. So the first one, it's a series. Well, no, it's a duet, I think. I don't think it's a series, unless I've got it wrong, actually. Should we check my Goodreads? Let's check.
Commercial break! People always ask me, how do you look so horrible? Is it natural? Well, here's my secret.
It's a duet. This one is called Bride and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. And listen, to me, Ali Hazelwood is an automatic buy. I absolutely love The Love Hypothesis. Oh, The Deep End. Her books, really good. She's an amazing writer. I can't wait to see The Love Hypothesis movie. Lily Reinhart, I love her. She's like my soul. Can't say soulmate, can I? That would be just a tad bit weird. I just love her. I feel like I connect to her. So these two are by Ali Hazelwood. And let me tell you a little bit about it. I think I remember because I was doing a little bit of research. So this is a paranormal romance. And it's about the daughter of a vampire councilman who gets forced into marriage to an alpha of a werewolf pack to form like an alliance between them because of like wars and stuff like that. So it's an arranged marriage, forced proximity, what else? Oh, fated mates. So basically everyone's favorite tropes. These two have been really highly rated, and a couple of my friends read them and they were like, Andrea, have you read like Bride and Mate? And I was like, I haven't had the time. My TBR right now, 96 books. How am I supposed to get, I keep adding books to it and randomly reading like one off and then finding another series that just isn't on my TBR. So they were like, you have to read it. So I am considering it because I'm currently in the mood for like wolves. So it's been really highly rated, and I think there's a reason for that. I mean, it's Ali Hazelwood. If that's not enough for you, then I don't know what is. The second one, this is not really a werewolf one though. This is one that I discovered around the 8th of May. I got an email from a publishing company and they were just randomly talking about random books and releases. And I just read this and it was like Snow White being retold as a dark romance. And I was like, pause. This one's called Fairest by Myri Macmillan. I hope I said it right. So it's a dark mafia retelling of Snow White. I don't really know much more about that, but it just sounds really good. I mean, what do you mean a dark mafia romance retelling of Snow White? Oh, and if we're talking about Disney Plus. And if we're talking about Disney books that have been retold and rewritten, there is an author who has got like an entire series where she's rewriting Disney books in her own in like her own mafia way. Her name is Taylor Anston White. So she's got Locket and Lies, Blood and Thorns. The one that's coming out right now is called, one second. Yeah, it's called Locket and Lies, and it's about Rapunzel. It's basically Rapunzel and Ryder, but darker. So it's been inspired by Rapunzel. It's a stalker, enemies to lovers, forced proximity, and a morally grey MMC. I'll show you guys what it looks like now. Oh, but yeah, her books are great for that. If you do want to read something of that sort, I would recommend it to you, especially if you guys love like a good mafia romance. I've been really hyped about this. Look, let me show you the art. I've been really wanting to read this book. So, oh, the glare on that is crazy. Isn't it good? It looks amazing. So, I think that's actually it for all the recommendations, because I didn't write a lot. I don't usually read like werewolf romances. I did read some last year, but that's a whole different story. I basically got hooked onto this app where they force you to pay a subscription or like wait every 24 hours to get like coins and you will unlock a chapter. And I started reading this book series, and it was called actually I don't know what it was called on the app, because apparently all those little apps, they steal actual books from small authors and put it behind a paywall, so do not fall for it, guys. So I started reading this book series, and it was like I actually read, what was it? Claimed by the alphas, marked by the alphas, saved by the alphas, owned by the alphas, and owned by the alphas, Winterborn. So that was my first experience of reading werewolf romance, and oh my god.
Cut the show. I'm done. Take me off.
It was such a trippy thing. But after I read that series, guys, I swore off werewolves for life. But yeah, come back to this because this is literally amazing. This saved my experience. So I hope I hope this video made sense. I hope you guys do read the series. That is all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely day. Stay safe, drink your tea, and don't get sick. Thank you. Bye.